as a parent watching the whole process unfold, I love that it was empowering to him, that he really had to take ownership over it, that it really motivated him to stay on task and to keep getting the grades and doing the work that he needed to do to make it happen. And then he got to see the outcome of that, which was really cool, that he got to have that life experience of putting in all that work and then seeing it pays off. He now has a better understanding of who he is in this process, what he wants, how he's going to create it. And so I highly recommend, utilizing you guys to create this process, because having a guide changes everything.
Yeah.
And being able to understand how to do it, understand what the costs are, all of those things, it just can be overwhelming. And so to have those opportunities, it's life changing and amazing.
Help with the essays, that was like the number one thing. I think it was 27 essays total that were written plus Common App, which is just a lot, especially for someone who struggles with writing a little bit. Also, all the organization. I found myself going back to like the spreadsheets, the data, quite a lot to check, like the checklist, and having a real step-by-step process to kind of stick to was very helpful.
The way the writing unfolded was really fantastic. The way you had him put it together was like something he can use for life. So when he goes back to do any kind of writing he wants to do in his life, like, it was really neat the way it unfolded. And so I feel like, he just learned a ton. I think he's very burnt out on writing essays. But obviously you probably don't have to write that many essays. It's just, shot for the moon, and he, won basically, because
Yeah.
he got into almost everything he applied for. There's so many opportunities. So I would, I just, delighted at all the, and helping him figure out, like, what does he want to do? What is he interested in? So he really has a clear path. When I went to school, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I was on the having a good old time until my dad said, figure something out or get out. And that's really not a good way to spend your money. So especially with the cost. So I feel like, he has a purpose. He's driven. Even if he changes lanes, he knows how to do that. He got so much out of it. We've had all the, deadlines, figured it out. It's been great. That's been super helpful.
Working with James is always a delight. Great personality, lovely to be around, and very helpful, especially when it comes to essays.
Every time I heard them interacting, he's just so kind, and yeah, generous with his time, very tolerant, very
Sorry.
tolerant. Yeah.
So sorry about that.
Yeah. But just like go with the flow, and like, hey, let's get it done, and super professional and super kind emails. Like, it was just great. Fantastic. The test
Yeah.
prep, I would say, was really super helpful, and really made a huge difference for him.
I feel like this gave me a lot more options when it comes to college than anything my high school or myself could have provided me. In terms of like outreach and opportunities provided, I feel like high school college counselor was not even comparable to
Yeah, I mean, they're
what you
lovely
provided.
people, and
Yeah.
they sent emails and things, but I
Mhm.
don't think, like, this was follow-up phone calls,
Direct
emails,
spreadsheets.
texts,
Yeah.
making sure that everything was done and taken care of, and that is a huge benefit and makes a huge difference, and created an amazing opportunity for him. So Orion is dyslexic and dysgraphic, and he, has it's a little ADD here and there. Uh, so he's got a lot of things going on, and he's very gifted. So I knew that he needed a lot of structure to help him create a plan. And so when we started this journey, it was COVID. Things were really crazy. And I knew that for him to have the opportunities that he should have, we needed some guidance. And I also really wanted him to have scholarships, because I wanted to make sure that we could financially afford those opportunities for him. So all of those things were really big factors for me in making the decision to work with you,
Mhm.
and have paid off. That's exactly how it all unfolded. But when we started, I mean, he didn't have the grades that he needed to have. He didn't have all the pieces in alignment where they needed to be, and he wasn't totally driven on what he wanted to do, I would say. So that has unfolded through the process of all the testing, the conversations, taking the time and building each year on all of his different successes and opportunities that you guys have helped him be able to have. He went from struggling in school to straight A's, graduating really within the, top 20, 25%, but with over a 4 point, whatever.
4.1.
And, a really nice SAT score. He's done amazing from where we started to where we are now. And a big part of that is you guys. So I really appreciate your support. It's been great.
Take advantage of it because of the opportunities it provides. I feel like, especially with the summer programs, I would not have gotten to spend time at Georgetown over the summer, or applied for a bunch of the internships the summer before that, if it wasn't for working with you. And I really appreciate that. Like, going and spending time at Georgetown is probably one of my favorite experiences I've had so far.